the mystery behind bean seeds, the white jelly you never recognized. Look at this, green beans. That green vegetable that's always in the kitchen, in home cooking, in our mother's stir fries. But have you ever really paid attention to what's inside them? This is the appearance of green beans that have started to rot with a blackish-brown color. And did you know, inside the green beans, there's a kind of solid white jelly next to which are rows of green bean seeds. Chapter 1. Getting to know the residents in the beans. Before we delve too deeply, we should first get to know the inhabitants of the bean pod. There are three main parts you should know. First, the outermost part. What we call beans are actually fruit. They're called pods. These are the walls of the plant's home. Second, the tiny seeds inside. These are the embryonic seeds of the new plant. And third, this is the one that's rarely discussed. This white, jelly-like layer next to the seed. In botany, it has a fancy name, sarcotesta. Some also call it aril, but we can say it's a heavenly pillow for the bean seed. Just imagine, inside those hard, green pods are tiny seeds that are incredibly valuable to the plant. If these seeds are damaged, the next generation will die. So nature created a protective barrier, not a hard one, but a soft, jelly-like one. What you see now is that the beans are green. The sarcotesta is composed of water and polysaccharides, a type of complex carbohydrate that creates a chewy texture. It acts as an oxygen reservoir and emergency food source for the seed. If the seed dries out, it draws water reserves from here. If the seed needs quick energy, it can utilize the simple sugars found in this layer. Now you're familiar with the inhabitants of the bean pod, but that's just the beginning, because the real mystery begins when the bean pod begins to rot. Chapter 2. When life changes color. The clear white color began to change. It turned brown. Then it got darker, until finally it was pitch black. What was really happening? Was this just a normal process? Or was there a biological war going on at the cellular level? Inside every bean cell, there's a compound called phenolic acid. This colorless, odorless compound resides quietly inside vacuoles, a kind of storage sac within the cell. It's called the enzyme PPO, polyphenol oxidase. As long as the beans are fresh, their cell walls are intact. The phenolic compounds and the PPO enzyme are far apart, never meeting. But as the beans begin to rot, the cell walls are damaged. Damaged by temperature, by mold, or by age. Then a meeting occurs. The phenolic compounds meet the PPO enzyme and oxygen from the air. In an instant, an oxidation reaction occurs. Phenolic compounds are converted into melanin, the same pigment that darkens our skin, which is what makes potatoes change color after they are peeled. But that's just one culprit. The second is even more terrifying fungus. A fungus called Calototricum lindemuthianum causes black spot disease in beans. This fungus infects pods and seeds. It produces black spores, and as it multiplies, it turns the plant tissue pitch black. Not your typical brown, but a charcoal black. If the sarcotests and seeds are black, never eat them, as they carry the risk of mycotoxins. Some mushrooms produce toxins that persist even after cooking. These toxins can cause long-term liver damage. Chapter 3. The Miracle of Sarcotesta. Have you ever tasted it when you eat it? There's a light sweetness, very light, and the chewy texture is unique. Unfortunately, most people don't even know this part exists. They eat the beans whole, chewing them whole, unaware that inside is a complex structure designed by billions of years of evolution. Chapter 4. The Power Hidden in Seeds. Chickpeas contain vegetable protein, complex carbohydrates, and are rich in fiber. The fiber turns into a gel in the intestines that binds cholesterol and sugar, removing them from the body. Fiber also prevents constipation and hemorrhoids, and is also good for the heart and diabetes. Chickpeas also contain iron to prevent anemia, magnesium for muscles and nerves, potassium for blood pressure, and folate, which is important for pregnant women. They also contain antioxidants like flavonoids that fight free radicals that cause premature aging and cancer. Raw chickpeas contain lectins. Lectins are proteins that protect plants from pests. In humans, lectins can cause red blood cells to clump together, triggering nausea, vomiting, and severe diarrhea. Therefore, avoid eating raw chickpeas. Chapter 5. When kindness becomes a problem. Eating green beans every day can overwhelm your gut bacteria if you're not used to it. They ferment the excess fiber, producing methane, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. The result? A bloated stomach and rumbling. But some groups are more vulnerable. People with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis may need to be especially cautious. High fiber can trigger flare-ups. Green beans also contain moderate amounts of purines. Purines are broken down by the body into uric acid. For people with gout or high uric acid levels, excessive consumption can trigger joint pain attacks. The big toe joint typically becomes swollen, red, and hot. The potassium in green beans is strictly prohibited for people with chronic kidney failure, and too much potassium can disrupt heart rhythm. Chapter 6. Conclusion and closing. So, the next time you eat green beans, remember, you're not eating just any vegetable. You're eating a masterpiece of nature. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let them know that behind this simple vegetable, there's incredible science. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.